get an intro. As much as we need an outro, I think an intro would also benefit us.
Yeah, I have heard that feedback from people. Unprompted, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Never asked, should we make an intro? We know.
Is positive feedback ever the one that's unprompted? Like, that's what I want.
Yeah, right? Is anyone ever just like, hey, by the way, loved what you did with the new podcast?
Yeah, hey, be nice for no reason. Let's normalize that.
That's real.
Anyway, welcome back to SmallTalk the Bones, episode 7. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. My name is Brooke Smallson.
My name is Gabe Smallson, still sipping the same coffee I was sipping last episode.
That's pretty crazy, Gabe.
It's been sitting here for 6 weeks.
Yes, we've created quite the illusion here for the fans, for the listeners.
No, I never really unpacked my mugs when I came back home, I realized. So I still have, like, my box of kitchenware. Because I just cycled through this mug. I cycled through the Golden Gate Bridge mug that my girlfriend got me.
That's
that
a
Cammie got
sick
me.
Mug.
Shout out to Cammie. First shout out of the day.
First
Let's get the
day.
shout out bell going.
Oh, I wish we had. We're really working hard on creating a soundboard because it would be just everything.
I sent Brooke a reel of a different podcaster, Nick Young, former NBA player.
Podcaster first and foremost.
He has a soundboard. And his, like, co-host, he was saying something about, like, just talking about, like, playing basketball at the YMCA or something, or, like, 24-hour fitness. And then he mentioned something a little out of pocket. I won't even try and recount what it was. And Nick Young goes, oh, wait a second. Gets his soundboard, and it's, well, I can't replicate that. It
Try.
was,
yeah,
like the
slide whistle noise.
But it was definitely like saxophones, right? It was definitely a horned instrument.
We can record our own.
Like, doom.
Oh, that was it! Whoa! He's his own soundboard, ladies and gentlemen. For voice acting, please contact him at SmallTalkThePod at gmail.com. SmallTalkThePod VO.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, we'll work on getting a soundboard, and an intro and an outro. Okay, fine. There are just the laundry list of criticism.
Take. You can't ever be satisfied with what we give you, which is what? Half an hour to 45 minutes of great content every episode? I was going to say every week, but we're inconsistent.
But you know what? We're also never satisfied.
Stay hungry.
Stay hungry.
Keep pushing. Philippians. I do apologize for that outburst. My inspiration for the soundboard, I'm glad you mentioned Nick Young, because my personal inspiration for having a soundboard is Gene from Bob's Burgers.
Oh, well, that's a big part of the show.
Machine and his little keyboard. I would love to have that for us. Yeah, the dog. Oh my god, that's good.
Okay.
It's real good. We'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen for you. Not you, for you.
How dare you point at my camera? Get a load of this.
Stage left isn't getting
any of it. I hope that when we edit this, that you're on this side, so that when I motion to you, it's to the wrong way.
It's to the edge of their laptop.
I think we should intentionally do that I'm just pointing to no one.
Yes,
and I hope that the viewers will look to wherever I'm pointing.
The listeners, though, my deepest condolences.
Sorry, guys, you're missing out.
Buzzinga.
Oh, I did not like that. Do you mind if I get into the actual meat of this podcast episode?
Yeah, get into the podcast meat.
Oh my pod, Gabe. Let me get
call back to last time.
The first thing I wanted to talk about was actually that you and I, as I think we've mentioned on the pod before, we are getting big into reading for 2024.
Yes.
We're reading, we're educated, and we're reminding everyone of that by always having a book wherever we go.
And we're learning how to read.
We're learning how to read. So
it's been great.
It's been great. I started with Hop on Pop and moved on to The Cat in the Hat. I'm thinking of tackling One
the
Fish,
Bible.
Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. That would be quite a jump, Gabe.
Yeah. From Dr. Seuss to the doctor upstairs.
Dr. Pod.
Dr.
I think replacing God anytime you can with Pod is hilarious.
P-D.
P-D. Oh my Pod.
OMP.
OMP.
So
that'll be our first official piece of merch.
What's a real book?
No one will ever. What's a real book?
What's a real book you're reading? That isn't the
Bible's
Bible.
not a real book yet? Whoa. You want to get controversial in the first 15 minutes of pod?
You grossly misquoted Philippians.
What?
So I know you're not reading the Bible.
I'm making a joke. I know you're not reading the Bible.
Yeah.
Sorry, not that.
I don't know what
part of it.
testament you're on.
My what?
I don't know, like Old Testament. It's, you know, those that read the Bible understand.
Real Bible readers will get this one.
That's my audience.
That's your audience, is those who read the Bible. I've been really big on an author, one particular author recently, Leigh Bardugo. She's phenomenal. She wrote the Shadow and Bone series, which is now a major Netflix television program.
Shadow and what?
SmallTalk and the Bones.
Yeah.
You know, that was like the working title, but I think she decided Shadow and Bone flowed better, which...
It's better on paper. Some things are better on camera, some things are better on paper.
Yeah,
I get it.
So, you know, I trust her. She just came out with a new book. I read it in like 2 days. It was so good. It's called The Familiar. Man.
Okay.
That was good. It was really good. And it was, you know, spoiler, doxing the Smallsons on the SmallTalk the Pod. We're Jewish.
Yeah. We brought that up a few times.
Can't believe I've just revealed that information.
You wouldn't know that by how many times I've been talking about the Bible, but you don't know
and
which
us
Bible.
not knowing, you don't know.
Yeah,
We're inclusive on this podcast, which is why we say the Bible and not the Torah.
Yeah.
If we
not
wanted
the
to,
Old Testament.
No one Jews don't call it the Old Testament.
We don't call it the OT.
The OT.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What are you reading there? OT? NT?
OT, man.
OT or NT? Oh, okay. Great. More of an OT guy myself.
Oh, you guys only read one chapter a week? Interesting. Okay. No, that's fine, I guess.
Pretty slow.
No, it's fine.
How long did it take you to get through that book? A year?
I read at a slightly faster pace, but if it works for you guys, 40 years in the desert, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, take your time.
Every single week, and then have a party when you finish the book?
Oh my God.
What are you gonna do next? Read it again?
Wait, do you need a little reading stick with you to point to
where
each
you're
word?
at? You can't follow it with your finger. Oh my God.
Do you have a specific melody in which you read it every?
Can you color code it so that teenagers are able to do it for one day of their lives?
But of course, we're talking about trope.
Oh my God.
So wait, who's that author
that was super niche. Would love please reach out to me if you understood, if you followed that. I know a lot of people won't. Thank you for bearing through it. You've made it to the other side. I'm back to Leigh Bardugo, author.
Yes.
In this new book she just wrote, The Familiar, she includes a lot of little refrains that are in Ladino, which is, as I understand it, kind of a mush of like mostly Spanish and Hebrew, but there's also like some Turkish, some Greek, some little, you know.
So what really is Ladino?
Ladino is, it's like a dying or dead language, basically, unfortunately. Yeah. It's like a Sephardic Yiddish, basically, like where it's a mush together of different languages, but
a melting pot.
I guess you could say that.
Kind of like New York City.
New York
Ever
City.
heard of it? Soundboard.
Damn, it'd be so
moment.
funny. Oh my God, you know Zach Zucker on Instagram? Whenever he does the New York sound effect, I die. Every single time. If y'all don't follow Zach Zucker, I'm going to his show in May. I'll be having a meetup afterwards if anyone wants to meet me at the Bourbon Room in Hollywood.
Every time we go to public events, we will have meetups.
Yeah,
at those
anytime.
Events.
Can I actually? That reminds me. Oh my God, we haven't talked about this yet. Recently at Cammie's birthday party, Gabe's girlfriend Cammie, shout out Cammie. At Cammie's birthday party, we were at a bar in North Hollywood, and one of Gabe's friends, who I have not met before, approached me and said, I'm revealing this to you for the first time. He came up to me, he was like, I'm so sorry, do you have a podcast?
You're famous.
Are you Brooke from I was like,
oh, wow.
Wait a minute. And I really did have about 10 to 15 seconds of like,
That's a
I'm
long
famous.
time.
I know, it's probably like 4 to 5 seconds of like, oh my god, this is the life. Hold on tight.
But it was
I was Hannah Montana. I was shielding my eyes from the paparazzi. It was crazy. And then it was revealed that you know him. And
yeah. You thought it was a stranger.
It was a bit. I thought it was a stranger for a second and then quickly realized it wasn't, but
one day.
It'd be cool. I liked the feeling, so if any strangers want to approach me and ask if I'm on a podcast.
If any strangers want to approach me, do not.
No.
Let's get one thing straight.
If you are a stranger and you want to say, do you have a podcast? That I'm okay with.
Don't say anything else.
Anything else? Absolutely not.
Unsolicited.
Absolutely not. What's
No.
your name? Do you have a podcast? No, that was too much. Yeah. Anyway, Gabe, I just talked about an author I've been reading.
Yeah.
And, you know, her great relation to the themes of Judaism and having Ladino in this book and how much I loved it and have connected with her writing. You've been having some reading over there.
I've also been reading.
Tell us about it.
I've always been like an autobiography / biography guy, but I don't, it's not hitting the same anymore. I can't be doing that. When I was at Brooke's favorite bookstore, there's a little used book section. Alternating between Book and Brooke, like that really took all my brain power. Sorry. Just wanted to, the used Brooke, fuck.
Use me up and throw me away.
So I'm there, I saw this book for like $5.
Book?
5 Brooks.
5 Brooks at the bookstore.
And it was called Killing Yourself to Live. And I'm like,
Wild title.
Whoa.
Wild title.
But it was about this guy in like 2004, 2005. He's a rock and roll critic living in New York. Chuck Klosterman is his name.
Shout out Chuck.
And he was like, all right, I'm just going to take a road trip for 2 weeks to different places around America where rock and roll players, icons, if you will,
rock stars
have died or K'd themselves, unfortunately. K-worded them off to themselves.
God.
And it was you know, there's other things that happen that aren't just that I don't want to give away, but it was, this guy's crazy. Like, he just has so many, like, very descriptive, very interesting sentences. Good guy Chuck Klosterman. I finished that book. I tried going back to anything else. I think I had 3 different books I was trying to read. I'm like, I gotta go back. You know, I'm fiending.
That's so real.
Ordered another one of his books all the way to 2016. This is called What If We're Wrong? And it's just about, like, different things in society, because we do live in a society that, honestly, like, if you were to tell someone, like the joke, like, if you were to tell a Victorian child about AI,
their brain would explode.
Yeah.
If you were to give a Victorian orphan a hot Cheeto, they would lose their life instantly.
If you played the song Often by The Weeknd to a Victorian child.
Oh my god.
So stuff like that. No, like, the book starts where he explains how Moby Dick, are you familiar?
This is the point where we're going to ask all the children to leave the podcast as you've just used the D word.
Yeah, you can't say Moby on live there.
Moby the musician.
So, M-word.
Don't bring him up. M-word, D-word.
M-word, D-word.
Moby D *****.
So, in that aforementioned book.
The whale book.
When it first came out, everyone hated it. It was so bad, it drove the author insane. Same thing would happen to me if I wrote a dud like that. He dies.
A dud like Moby Dick.
Well, everyone hated it at the time. Moby Dud.
Moby Dud. Maybe Dud. If I was a critic at the time, Moby Dick, maybe Dud.
Definitely Dud.
The subheadline is like, yuck.
Gross.
Whale book sinks.
A whale of a disaster on paper.
That's good.
So this book, people hated it.
Yeah.
And then years go by, author is no longer with us. World War I happens. And people are like, wait a second. If we look at Moby Dick now, M-word, D-word now, like there's a lot of, if we read it within this context, it's actually pretty good. And everyone's like, yeah, I agree, it was pretty good. But at the time, much like Vincent van Gogh, the painter,
the painter,
like sometimes you really do have to just
please, that can't be the lesson we've taken from this. Oh my god.
But it's just interesting, like, that's how he tees off this book, and then the rest of it is just different thing.
Wow.
I'm gonna hopefully...
What if we're wrong?
What if we're wrong? Oh, and the title is like, the cover of the book is upside down, too.
Yeah, I thought your book was opening the wrong way, but then I realized the title page is, like, upside down. Yeah. So
I'll probably be done with it by the time you guys are seeing this episode. I hope. God willing.
God willing.
Philippians 4:15. Please let me read.
Pod willing. Oh man. Grace be unto pod.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm reading.
I love that.
That's
so cool.
There's a couple questions from
Yeah. So last pod, if you recall, because I'm sure
you guys
diligently working your way through each episode.
Well, hopefully you're caught
to
up.
Get to this point. Yeah. So let me refresh your memory a little bit. Last pod, we let
the liquor talk.
Last pod, we let the liquor talk. That's crazy. That's also from Philippians. So we took some questions from y'all on Instagram. Questions, thoughts, musings, concerns. Some of which I can answer on here. There were a few fuck, marry, kills. There were a few questions about which coworkers I hated at my last job, which I can't for legal reasons answer.
Why would we answer this while not only being recorded visually, but through audio channels as well, and planning to post it to the internet to last forever, hopefully longer?
Yeah.
I would never reveal which coworkers I hate because
they're all listening right now. Shout out.
Shout out to...
No. I don't
hate any coworkers.
I haven't... I've had some coworkers I haven't loved.
Oh, my current jobs? Everyone's great. In the past...
Yeah, good save. My current job, currently fun employed.
Well, there's a statute...
Yeah.
Of limitations. Yeah. Not a statute of limitations, like with old jobs. Like I think we can talk about like the summer camp that we worked at, if there are any unsavory characters. But it's got to be like 5 years before you can go public.
Yeah. Sorry. So we got 2 or 3 more before I can reveal all that stuff that happened that one time. I'm just kidding. Art camp was actually like...
No, that deserves its own episode.
The best time ever. Yeah, we'll talk about art camp.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything.
We definitely will talk about art camp. Summer Art Academy. Look it up if you have children 5 through
no free ads.
11
no
in
free
the valley.
Ads.
No, I'll give them the free promo. Like, they raised me.
Yeah.
Like, they can have it. Y'all...
Gotta raise that checkbook.
Raise that checkbook and go to my camp, please.
No,
maybe I'll make an appearance. I'll have a meetup.
Okay, go to the Summer Art Academy. We'll be signing autographs after the second block.
Ah, shit, we told the kids to stop listening.
Well, this is for the adults. Adults, sign your kids up.
True. Don't tell the kids I'm going to do the meetup. It'll be a really fun surprise. Let them listen just to the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
Until Gabe says dick. And then you
Till I say Moby.
Cut him loose. All of this is to say that we got a lot of questions last time on Instagram, and we've still got some to work through that are that I would feel comfortable answering on our podcast that will be up forever.
And we have a lot of other stuff to work through as well, just to be clear.
just in life and generally, but for now, questions.
Yes.
This is a question that I really loved. It's from a friend of ours named Carolyn. Shout out Carolyn.
Hey, Carolyn.
Carolyn asked, what is the most LA thing that's happened to you lately?
Oh, wow. I mean, this is as good an opportunity as any to go back to my extra work.
Yeah.
My background acting work. That's always one. It was like a hospital setting, and our mother's a nurse practitioner. But when she was in the operating room, she had scrubs because they like having uniforms and coordination in hospitals, I've been told.
And like cleanliness, I feel.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I can get work done like in this, like doing a
Like
surgery. Yeah.
You got some blood splatter on your SC jersey, my man.
Oh, darn! I should have worn my scrubs. But she had navy blue scrubs, and I show up to set. It's my first day ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, hey, you know, I brought my own scrubs, costume department. You don't need to provide for me. And they're like, well, in the universe of Unnamed Show, doctors actually have the navy blue scrubs.
What were you supposed to be?
Just hospital staff. So any other color scrubs, basically.
Oh.
But since I had my navy blue, you know, Hollywood, I'm a doctor now. They gave me a little lab coat.
Promoted.
A fake name tag, too.
Who are you?
Okay. The embroidery on the doctor's coat said Dr. John Green.
The author?
Yeah.
Dr. John Green. I love your work.
So I thought that
I love
was...
Looking for Alaska.
I put it on. I'm like, wow. The Fault in Our Stars was... I had issues with it. No.
Whoa.
I didn't. I thought it was fine. It was the first book I ever cried at, actually.
Aww.
That was The Fault in Our Stars.
It's a good book.
So I guess that's... No, because my default answer to that LA question is like, oh, one time we were getting burgers. We're at Umami Burgers, and Shia LaBeouf sat next to us.
That was actually nuts.
Which did happen, and it was kind of crazy.
Because if you remember Umami Burger, this is real LA kid hours. If you remember Umami Burger, the seats were honestly booth seats, kind of like this.
Like cow chairs here.
They were cow chairs.
Yeah.
They were like red, high-backed armchairs, and you sat like almost directly beside the person at the table next to you. So we were like directly beside Shia LaBeouf, and it was hard to like, even when you're having a conversation, you're just so aware of something like right out of your field of vision. That's a good one though.
Yeah, those two are
really
mine.
good.
Yeah.
I have like my most LA thing that's happened, but I can't think of like a recent something.
Well, what regardless of recency, what's the most LA thing that happened?
My most LA thing that's happened, I think, is probably I saw Drew Barrymore in a bathroom, and my favorite thing to do when I encounter celebrities of such a level is to act like I don't realize that they're celebrities, or just, you know,
That's good.
This is a novel idea, I know, especially in LA, to treat celebrities like they're human beings.
What?
I know.
How am I gonna get a picture and autograph?
It's pretty controversial, but I love to do it, mostly just because I get really excited and starstruck very easily. So to not do that at all, to not show that at all, is like a fun little game for myself. So I saw Drew Barrymore in a bathroom, and I came out of the bathroom and she was washing her hands, and I was like, oh my God, I'm loving this like bandana look that you're pulling off right now. She was like, oh, thank you. I was like, yeah, that's super cute. Washing my little hands, acting like whatever. Drew Barrymore.
Nice.
Woman with bandana, you know? So washing my hands. She's about to leave. She goes, have a good day, by the way. I was like, hey, you too.
That's so nice.
Nailed it. Absolutely nailed the interaction.
Yeah, that's really good.
It was good. I'm going to keep thinking of more LA things that have happened recently, because I feel like there was one so recently. I have a vivid memory of my friend Casey recently saying to me, like, something about, like, I would have freaked out if this...
Oh, wait. I thought of a good one. Go
ahead.
I'm in high school. This is the most LA thing.
Recent.
It's like...
Yeah.
No, I'm in, like, 11th grade.
Okay.
Which was a
child.
Like 8 years ago.
An infant.
And like, I'm laying in bed, and I wake up at like 10. My phone's buzzing. Phone's going crazy. I'm like, oh, well, just another day, I guess.
Classic.
And I look, and my friends, everyone's going crazy in the group chat. They're like, yo, we're going to the beach in an hour. Get ready. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was either December or it was the summertime. I think it would be more LA if it was December. So for story purposes, it's a December day. It's winter break. Yeah. I wake up and they're like, hey, we're going to the beach. I'm like, ugh, all right. LA, man. Los Angeles. I think, oh no, that's something different. Just side note, while you were away in either college or Korea, and I was home from the dorms in winter break, I moved. We had an extra Keurig machine because I had one in the dorms
Yeah.
that I brought back, but we also have one at our home.
Mm-hmm.
I like moved it within like an arm's reach of my bed. It was like that was
Wow.
some of the most efficient and
Coffee
like
right out of bed.
I would get like an empty mug the night before and a pod.
Wow.
So then I could literally just like wake up, reach over, boom, boom. Maybe I was depressed.
Depresso espresso, am I right, baby?
Yeah.
That's a level of efficiency I could never reach.
Saying that out loud, that was...
That sounds more efficient to me than sad.
I hope so.
I just want you to know that me hearing this as a third party.
Thank you.
Third party? Me outside myself speaking to you as an unbiased, objective opinion. I think that's fine.
Because I would do it again.
Fine.
I would do it again.
It's not a bad idea.
Bad idea, right?
It's a bad idea, right? Coffee in my bed. Bad idea, right?
Yeah, how LA is that?
That's pretty LA. Okay, that was the LA thing. Coffee right in your bed?
See, this is what you get when you don't plan things like that. I feel like any other podcast, it'd be like, we're having our pre-show meeting. I'm like, hey, this one time I moved the coffee machine into my bedroom. Let's try and tee that up. Okay?
And then the producers might tell us, as they are right now, bad story, cut. Yeah, they're going, cut, knock it off. Stop that.
Don't do that. Cut.
So,
call your therapist.
Call your therapist.
And apologize.
Gabe.
Yeah.
I'm going to move us on.
Move us along.
I'm going to move us along to a question from your former roommate, Harry.
Uh-oh.
Shout out, Harry.
Uh-oh.
Harry,
he got the brunt of it last episode.
He asked a really interesting question. Who do you think would win in a fight? Barney or Big Bird? So the kids can come on back now for this segment. Barney versus Big Bird. It's a cage match, obviously.
Televised or not?
It's pay-per-view.
Okay, Big Bird comes alive under the bright lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because if we're just talking like height, obviously Big is in his name, Big Bird.
I think Barney's got a little.
Yeah.
He's kind of beefy.
He's a stocky character, Barney.
Mm-hmm.
And he's lower to the ground too. I feel like one sweep of the legs from Barney, Big Bird's done.
Center of gravity.
Yeah.
Wow. Here's the thing. I love a question like this because I don't think there's any world where Barney and Big Bird are fighting each other.
Yes.
I think if anything, they're lovers.
Thank you. They just start kissing.
The kids should leave now. The kids can go again.
Yeah, kids get out of here.
Get out of here. Let me tell you about my Barney.
So Big Bird spreads his wings.
Whoa!
Wait, sorry, time out.
You didn't need to say spread when I said the words fan fiction. That was too much.
Does Big Bird have hands or it is wings, right?
I think he has hands. They're like winged arms that end in like glovey. I think they're 4-finger hands like this.
That's good for the fight.
For the fight?
Well, yeah, because assuming he is fighting, imagine
Barney
if he
has,
just
like,
had wings.
Hands. Yeah.
Yeah, but one versus a wing, that's just a...
He's got the master of disguise slap fight style. Wow.
Yeah.
This is a solid question. It also makes me nervous to
makes
think
me
about.
anxious.
Yeah. For a reason that I can't put my finger on.
Or
I don't want to see big puppet guys fighting.
In costume.
Actually, puppets might even be better. It's the fact that there's a person in there. You know?
Well, if we're talking puppets, how about the two really negative Muppets that always sit in the mezzanine?
Oh yeah, Waldorf and Statler.
Who would win between those two schmucks? Those
guys
they always have something to say.
The round one with the eyebrows.
Is that Waldorf?
I don't actually know. I think so, maybe. I love those guys. I really relate, honestly.
Who can relate?
Who can relate? Yelling negativity from the rafters. No more
puppet talk.
No more puppet talk. That was really too much. I think that was a little too much.
A little.
Just a bit.
You want to do a little cool down with the Renaissance Fair?
Let's do a little cool down with the Renaissance Fair. Interesting segue from puppets, though.
Well, it's dressing up as a big bird And dressing up as a
big wench.
Big wench.
Yeah, so I guess to get us out of the puppet thought, to get us away from that, I did go to the Renaissance Fair recently. The SoCal Renaissance Fair.
Yes.
One of my favorite places in this world.
Right. Did you get a turkey leg?
I did not get a turkey leg, actually.
That was my only request, Brooke.
Gabe,
I remember I asked you before you left. I said,
sorry, it's an $18.99 turkey leg.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. How much would you price a turkey leg at? What would you think is a good price for a turkey leg?
At least under $10.
Yeah, I would even pay $10 for.
Okay.
I would pay $10 for a turkey
Slip my
leg.
Hamilton.
Slip my Hamilton.
Yeah.
Have we mentioned Hamilton this episode yet?
Luckily, no.
Okay, we've hit our quota.
Yeah.
Thank God. We made it. This episode is sponsored by Lin-Manuel Miranda. So, I went to the Renaissance Fair.
Yes.
And had a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Got a tattoo
Mm-hmm.
of a little sword because...
A cutlass?
A cutlass, yeah. Really emphasizing the ass on that.
Cutlass?
Cutlass. A cuddle-ass. That was great. I saw for the first time, I've been to the Renaissance Fair a few times now, because I love it so much. I saw for the very first time the joust.
Yeah.
Because every other time I've gone, we've arrived maybe 5 or 10 minutes before the joust is supposed to start, and they turn us away. They're like, it's full. Get out of here. Because obviously it's a monarchy and they don't care about the peasants. People were booing the queen, actually. It was very funny. Someone was like, why are they booing the queen? I'm like, she doesn't give a shit about us. She doesn't care.
I mean, you're right, but I don't think they're ready for that.
I'm not trying to overthrow the monarchy at the Renaissance Fair. It's not the time nor the place.
No, I fully agree with you, but
although peasant uprising weekend at the Ren Fair could be crazy. Let me know if you guys need some theme ideas for next year. This year I actually went during Pirate Weekend, which was super fun.
Nice.
I was the only one of my friends who dressed up. I did a little, casual
Why didn't they
pirate
dress up?
look. They didn't want to.
What?
And you know what? I have a lot of fun doing that. It's immersive to me, and it made it better for me. So I was like, I'll just do it.
That's like,
it's fine.
Come on.
It felt like my parents were, like, all my parents. All 4 of my parents were taking me to the Renaissance Fair.
You know what?
And you know what? It was fine.
Opposite of a shout out, public shaming.
Public shaming.
To Brooke's friends.
We should start shaming people.
Yeah.
Public shame. Shame to,
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the joust. The best part of this joust was that the section I was in was so lit. They were so ready for this joust. So every time a man rode by on a horse, someone in our section would go, "What is the horse's name?" And then they would tell us the horse's name, and everyone they'd go, "His name is Drax," and everyone would go, "Drax, Drax, Drax, Drax."
Drax.
So I knew the names of all the horses, right? And we're sitting there going, "I want Harold to win, not Copper. Drax is gonna take it all." Like, it was crazy. Okay, they just love, and everyone just loved having something to chant for. Yeah. They were chanting for the security girl at one point.
People love to chant.
Named Rachel. Shout out Rachel, who does security at Ren Fair. Thanks, Rachel. It was insane. The funniest thing I heard in the whole day, though, was one of the horses rode by very fast, and some guy goes, "Do a wheelie!"
On the hooves?
On his hooves.
Do a hoovie.
Do a hoovie. Oh, we call it a hoover, actually. Like,
I hardly know her.
Really? That's what we're gonna do again?
Hey, thanks so much for watching, guys.
Good Christ, Gabe.
Like a hoovie. Like a play in the space. Play in the space.
A hoovie? Hoofy. It'd be a hoofy.
A hoofy.
Hooves.
A hoovie's like a home movie.
I hate hooves. It's hooves.
Hooves like hooves. Jagger.
Hooves.
I got them hooves.
Have you seen the picture? We're absolutely going to put it up here. It's a picture of Lil Wayne. And he's in a hot tub. And someone's like, "Why is he wearing socks in the hot tub?" And there's a response that's like, "Those are his hooves, you bitch." I have to show you this. It's so funny. Oh my god, my brain is so full of memes and posts all the time. But that's
really
a really
good.
good one.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Gabe, I feel like we're done here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna end with a question for the audience.
Yeah.
This was a question that Cammie suggested. Shout out again, Cammie.
Here we go.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh my god.
I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm Brooke Smallson.
And I'm Gabe Smallson, and why can't a hot dog just be its own thing?
And also, this is SmallTalk the Pod. Thanks. Thanks for listening.
That's our new outro.
That's our new outro. Why can't a hot dog just be its own thing?
And then we'll end on a high five. And we'll end on a high five.
Punching the mic out.